everybody, right, today's video. Let's start off with what we're dealing with at first. We've got a waterproof case here, which is going to be the aim of this project, but I'm going to explain what I'm going to do with that. And the camera I'm going to be using, or what goes into this case, is a Sony HDR AS300. It's exactly the same size, I believe, as the 3000. The only difference is this is a 1080 version and the 3000 is a 4K version. Okay, right, what I've done, I'll start off and show you at the beginning, is this particular camera. When I got it, I went on YouTube. I'm not doing a video about this, you'll have to go find it. I learned how to disassemble this camera. Can't speak, excuse me. So I disassembled it and I removed the door there, which covers over the sockets at the back. The reason I've done that is because, in all honesty, I do not want to use this camera out of that case. So I'm not worried about anything getting in there. It's always going to be in that case. The only problem is, once you put this camera in that case, the sound is nearly non-existent. It's not worth having. So we need to get a microphone into here, which brings me to the next part of the video, which will require us to drill a hole through this case. Now, other people have drilled holes through cases on YouTube, as I am sure you have seen, but I do not just want to drill a hole. I want to drill a hole, but then I want to be able to seal that hole if I am not using the microphone. For example, if it was absolutely chucking it down with rain outside, but I wanted to do a time-lapse video, I could put this camera into this case. I don't need sound, but it would be sealed from the elements. I will not be diving underwater with this camera. The only time it's going to go into the water is if I drop it in the dock by accident. Okay, so that's the video. Let's crack on. Okay, so first things first, we need to put this camera back into the case, just for now. And the reason I'm doing that, I can just hold it like that, is because we need to get a mark on the back of the case. I've got a permanent marker pen here, exactly where that socket is, which is there, yeah? So now we've marked it up, we can now take the camera out the case, like so, and we have a dot on the back of the case, if you can see that. And that is where we're going to drill the hole. Okay, right, now I'll get the drill ready. Okay, everybody, so I've just brought you back. I've got my drill ready. I'm going to use one of these for drilling the hole. I don't know what the precise term of these is. Is it a core drill, cone drill, I don't know. Anyway, I'm using one of them. This is the cable off my Rode microphone. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is it's an angled connector. I would have liked it to have been straight, so it could push straight in and pull straight out, but it's got a 90 degree on it, so I don't know if that's going to be a problem. And I bought a packet of these off an auction site. Now, I'm going to show you what my idea is before I actually do it. This is what I thought, look, this is what I thought. I thought if I was to take that out of there, in theory this will go into there, okay? Beautiful, beautiful, right? You got me so far? Right, so what we do is we drill a hole and we glue that over the hole. Alright? Are you with me? So far, good, 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 good. So when that's glued onto the case, we can then add this, which has got a small rubber seal when it's not being used, and we can just nip that up like so. So it's got a waterproof seal around there. Don't know how good the waterproof seal will be, but it would have one on it. Now, I'm not sure if we'll have to cut a piece of that off, because as you can see, that actually goes in a little bit. But judging by the thickness of the case, that might be absolutely perfect. Anyway, that's the idea. So we're going to get the drill set up and we're going to drill an hole through it. Okay, now I can zoom this out. Oh, it's zoomed out of the way. Right, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put a bit of cloth in here. It's a bit of hand wipe. The reason I'm doing that is because this lens here is recessed, and if any data gets into there, it'll be hard to get out, I would have thought. So we'll just lock that up like that. We're going to then get the drill, and I'm getting very carefully. I don't know if you're seeing this. I'm going to put that on there, and I'm just going to go so slow. Have we left a mark? Have we made a mark? I hope so. I know what I ought to be doing really. Now my phone's going. Excuse me one moment, we'll get back to this. Apologies for that. I've had a phone ring in, I've had stuff going on. I'm trying to do this and show you. But you can see what I'm trying to do, can't you? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I hope that's staying in line, because if it isn't, now's the time we want to be putting it right. Should I check it? I think I should. I put my camera out the way because I didn't want my camera to get any damage to it. That's what I'm really worried about. Yeah, it's strayed off a little tiny bit. Can you see that? That's okay. We can put that right. We can pull that right. But it's best to check. You know, it all wants to be lined up. I'm trying to do this on camera, so it's pretty difficult. Right, let me just get myself a small drill bit. I'll be back with you. Okay, I've not shown that on camera, but I've drilled a small hole. Can you see that? I don't know if this is even focusing. I hope it is. But you can see the size of the drill bit I've used is minute. So now I'm going to switch back to the other thing I was using. I didn't really want to use a drill bit on this because I thought it might split the case, but that first one went through pretty nice. I could have probably got away with using a drill bit, but hey, there you go. We'll go back to the other. Yeah, always the same when it start doing a video, people start ringing you up. Can you do me a favour? Can you do me a favour, mate? Well, no, I can't. I'm busy. How's that sound? Okay, so we'll get back to here. Get that back in. Just checking. It's very. I don't want to. Anybody who doesn't know, these cases. Sorry, I'm concentrating. These cases are quite expensive. I believe these cases cost about £50. I'd just like to say they're extremely tough plastic, as you can see. Okay, well there's the first one through. Do you see that? Now what we're aiming for though, I mean we can see that'll go through there, but that's nowhere near big enough. Okay, so we just have to keep going. The thing with these drill bits, because they're stepped, you just keep going, look, and it makes the hole bigger. Now I would like it so that actually fits inside, so I'm going to keep going. I don't know what size it needs to be, so hard work this, I won't lie. I'm wondering why it's so hard, why it's struggling so much. That plastic's quite thick on the back there though, can you see that? Quite thick. We're getting there, we're getting there. Just sorry guys, I'll speed some video up for you, make it so you're not sat there going, oh, it's still drilling. That is tough. I don't understand why it's so tough. Right, just pause the video and then I'll come back to you because it's going to take me a while. I'll get the camera out of the way. Okay, my beautiful people, you're back and I'm back and here I am. There you go, I've drilled the hole through the back. It was easier once I got it away from me. I'm trying to do things with the camera in front of me, it's quite hard. I've drilled the hole. Now I can tell you what size hole this is now, look. I can show you on the drill bit. As it goes through, look. It drilled a 10mm hole. Can you see that? Or maybe you can't. It's 10mm, look, 10mm. Okay, that's a 10mm hole I've got in there, and that 10mm hole allows that in there. Okay, it's quite large. I know you could drill a little tiny hole, That's up to you. But my idea is this, and I'm going what I think. This is my idea. It's a bit crazy maybe, but hey, needs must. Now, as you can see, that is going to go across there, like so. I hope you can see that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this case out, open this case up. Okay, see what I mean about this plastic all over, can't you? This is what I'm worried about, getting plastic inside my lens there. That's not what I want. And I can also see in here there's quite a large build-up of plastic inside the case. I don't know if you can see that there. See it? So somehow we're going to have to get rid of that. That could be a bit of a, maybe a little bit of a nightmare, that. We'll find out in a minute. I might get a 10mm drill bit, a normal one. See if I can just take that edge off. Just bear with me again. We will return. Okay, I'm back. I've got a 10mm drill bit here. I'm just going to do it by hand. I'm not going to even put this in the drill and see if I can just take that inside edge off. I hope I can. If I can't, I can put it in a drill. You know, I just thought if you could do it by hand, why be heavy-handed with it? Let's see if that comes off. I think it's come off most of it. Yeah, it's almost off. Almost got it. Almost got it off. Let's go again. Just a 10mm. All I'm doing is I'm trying to clean the inside edge, guys. I hope you can see this okay. I've got the camera extreme close, I know that. Yeah, that bit just broke off. I saw it. Can come out. I still managed to get a bit in the front lens, which I didn't want to do, but I've managed to do it, which is great. Not. Let me just cover that up and get that out quick. Okay, so now we've got that. We've got an hole going through the back there. If I get my camera, and I'm doing this live, so I hope it's lined up. In goes the camera. We turn it round, and I'd say that's near as damn it, wouldn't you? Let's try it. Yeah, it goes in beautifully, look, into the back of the case. I'll just fasten the case just to prove it actually does. Fasten still, it does. So I can plug my microphone into there, and hopefully it'll all be good. I'm just going to make sure I get that lined up nicely when I glue the nut on there, because like I say, I'm going to put this nut here. I ought to really put this camera a little bit further out for you all, shouldn't I? I'm sorry, apologies. Apologies, I don't even know if this is going to work with this on. So that's going to go like that. It's going to be glued in place. That nut's going to be glued in place like that. Do you get that? Okay, I hope you can see what I'm trying to do here. Right, let's move on. Okay, beautiful people, I'm back. Right, what I need to do next, I hope I'm getting this okay. I've moved the camera a little bit further away. Round this, where this hole is, I want to rough the edge up just slightly, because we're going to glue around here, all right? And the glue needs something to grip onto, okay? So that's why I'm using a Stanley knife, or whatever you call them, craft knife, don't know what you want to be using. Use whatever you want. This, I've got this at hand, and this will probably do the job. But if you just rough it up a little bit, see, I don't want to rough all the case up, otherwise you could just use a piece of sandpaper or something, I guess. I don't want to do that. But there you go. My choice. If you're doing it, it's your choice. You're doing all this on your own risk. Hopefully you can see that I've roughed it up a little bit. It feels rough, that's good. And do the same on the nut. Now this nut has got one side with some little dots on it and one side without. The ones with the dots on is what's going to go, the little holes on is going to go in there, the inside of the case. Watch your fingers if you're doing this, guys. I know I'm dangerous, so I've been told. You know, Stanley knives will chop your finger off. If you chop your finger off, it's your own fault. Just saying. Don't come running to me going, he told me to do this. No, I didn't. You're responsible for your own health and safety. Assess the situation before you do it. Think it's unsafe, don't do it. Your bosses will be going mad if I tell you that, won't they? He can't say that. You do as you're told, otherwise you're out of work. And so I'm waffling out, yeah. So basically that's what we're doing. We're just giving it a little bit of something to get the glue sticking to. And I think I've just about got it all. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, now there's just one thing I'm going to point out here, and it's not just to do with this. If you're ever using glue near a camera, seriously, make sure the glue is gone off 100% before you put a camera anywhere near it. Okay? What's he on about, they're all saying? Well, if you put super glue, I read somewhere that a guy had put some super glue on a bag or something he'd done for his camera to glue it back together, and then he put his camera into the bag before the glue was gone off, and there's a chemical reaction between the lens of his camera and the glue. Apparently, if you've got any marks on your lens, it enhances them. It's kind of like a forensics technique they use for getting fingerprints off bags and stuff. Anyway, if you're using glue, glue it up, leave it for a week or a long time so you make sure it's safe. Don't ruin your cameras, guys. Just a quick warning. Okay, let's move on. Okay, people, so I'm going to mix up some epoxy. Okay, you can use whatever glue you wish. I'm going to mix up a tiny bit of epoxy. It will be a tiny bit as well, because I'm frugal apparently. Got to be careful because this is a cheap epoxy and I can't find my other, so hopefully this is going to be fine. 50-50 of both. Sure you've mixed epoxy before, you lot. Sure you know what you're doing. Don't mix them and then put the cap on. I've got a bit of wood here. We'll just give it a little mix together like that. This one says it takes 5 minutes to start setting, so we'll see. So 5 minutes. Okay, we'll get the nut we're going to use here. Hopefully you can see all this. I'm making sure I'm trying to get it all in shot for you. Now, I love the smell of epoxy. I know that's not the what. Don't smell glue, kids. Okay, just saying. I'll just put a dab on here. Yeah, I'm going to put it on this side only. I don't want to overdo it with the epoxy, guys. On second thoughts, you know, I've just had a bit of a brainwave which just kind of crept up on me pretty rapidly then. It would have been easier if I actually put this screw thread into this side so I can actually hold on to it like that. I hope you can see that I put the screw thread in. As long as I don't get any epoxy on the screw thread, we should be fine. Make sure it's all the way round, because this is going to act as a waterproof barrier. If it works, it will be waterproof. I don't know how waterproof, but it will be waterproof to an extent. Like I said, I don't want to put too much on. I'm not here to get it all over everything. I'm trying to keep it neat, but there you go. So we've got some epoxy on there. If I could find my cloth that I had earlier, I hope you can see this. I hope I'm actually recording or I'm talking to myself. I'll just wipe that bit off there because I don't want any excess on there. I want to keep it minimal, like that. And then pretty much what we've got to do then, if I just push out the way over there, yeah, making a mess everywhere. Look, let's just get that wipe up. As that's going off, I'm going to bring the case over. We need to get it exactly where we need it, which is kind of there. Okay, let me just check. At the minute I'm looking inside the case. You guys obviously can't see that. If I was to stand that up like that and leave it, that should glue in perfect position. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to recheck it though. Do not want it to move. If it's not lined up at the beginning, this will not work. So you don't want to be messing about. You want to make sure you've got it in the right place. Okay, just leave it there like that. And it says it takes 5 minutes to set. I don't believe that. I'm going to leave that for a little bit longer than 5 minutes. It all looks good though, I think. I'm sorry if I keep rechecking. I just want to be sure. Like I say, we do that. We can then put this stopper back in after we've used the microphone. So let me just check. Yeah, that looks good. It looks good to me, that. I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave that there, guys. Right, I'll come back when it's set. By the magic of video, we fast forwarded 24 hours and here we are. It's glued on. Hopefully you can see this. I can't see what the camera's filming. Now, I have found one problem. Whoops. But never mind. There it is. It's glued on. You can see what I was aiming to do. So hopefully that's showing you what I was aiming to do. What I overlooked though, bad me. I drilled a hole big enough for the socket, for the plug, sorry, to go through, didn't I? So this plug will go through here beautifully, look, beautifully. But this is a bit wider than the plug. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to chop a piece of this off, because I'll screw it in, look, and then it'll stop. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that, but it's stopped a few mil. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop a piece off this now, and yeah, we'll figure it out from there. So what do you reckon? How much should we chop off? Should we just have a guesstimate? If we put it kind of like that and go, yeah, that's about right, we'll do it like that. I've got some more of these, so it doesn't matter if I get this wrong. As long as I don't chop my finger off, we'll be fine. Because that wouldn't be good, would it? Especially on camera. Oh man, it might give you a lot a bit of a laugh. Playing with Stanley knives. Lovely and dangerous. I've nearly got it, Nearly there, a little bit more. Put it back in the groove. Here we go, we cut it off. Now then, have I damaged the thread in the process? Very possibly. Never cut towards your thumb like I just was. Yo, it goes in and it tightens up. It works. Hooray! So inside we've got that, if you can see that, and that's what we got on the outside. My camera will now slot into there beautifully. We can shut the front of it, make sure it all fastens up, which it does. So now if you was going to the beach but you didn't want to use a microphone, so you wanted to keep sand out or you wanted to keep water out, you've got that. You could tighten it up tighter than that. I've just done it hand tight. And then if this works, that should just plug in, and it does. There you go, guys. That is the answer. I'm telling you, keep your camera safe when it's wet or sandy or whatever. These are quite cheap, these little plug things, so you could buy more of those. Rubber seal. I'll water test this in a minute. Okay people, just going to fill this the basin up. I'd just like to point out, if you can hear me over the water, I'll wait till it stops. Make sure we've got some water in there. Okay, what I was saying was, I've never ever tested this case before in water, so I don't even know if it's watertight. All I'm going to do is I'm going to nip that up finger tight. I hope the glue's sealed around the outside. If it isn't, it'll leak. This is a test, it's live. Let's push it under and imagine she's in the water, or you're in a really bad rainstorm, and we'll find out in a minute whether I only got in it. How long shall I hold it under for? It wants to come up. Let's bring her out. And now I'm going to have to dry it, I will dry it and I will get back to you. How's that? Let's just pause. Okay everybody, I've dried the outside of the case. I've not opened it yet, so we'll find out if there's any water inside. The only trouble is, if my hands are wet I won't be able to tell. So if we just I never remember how this catch works. It's the opposite to the old system. There we go, look. It's open. Now, is there any water in it? I think there might be, but I can't really tell. Let me just stick my finger in there. No, it's dry. It's dry, guys. It works. So there you go. It's a quick fix. It's a cheap fix. It'll do for what I want. I wouldn't recommend this to go diving. All I'm doing that for is to test it's watertight if I was in a really bad rainstorm, if I wanted to leave my camera out in the rain. But there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. Sorry about the echo. I'm in the bathroom. Ta-ra for now. All the best from the Beach Badger. I love you all. Bye-bye.